You're listening to 89.9 FM, WKCR FM New York, WKCR HD. I'm your host, Dylan Farley, joined with my co-host, Kaleb Starks. Kaleb, say hello.
What it is, WKCR?
Yes, sir. And this is Notes from Underground, our contemporary hip-hop show here on 89.9 FM, WKCR. Today we have a wonderful show lined up for you guys. We are joined with Wiseboy Jeremy, South Jersey's own. Say what's up, my boy.
Yo, WKCR, how we doing? Wiseboy, South Jersey.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. About to get into a little interview here on Notes from Underground. After that, but they're about to get into a fire freestyle. He's brought Industrial Dre back for a freestyle. More? Yes, sir. So let's get right into it. Let's start off with, let's get into the name. Wiseboy Jeremy, tell us about it.
So, I was going by the name Jeremy O at the end of 2020, I think. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people were just talking about my raps and stuff like that. And they were like, yo, like, you kind of be speaking life, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of the stuff that you put out in record is kind of like, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like a wisdom in a sense, you know what I mean? So I kind of just took a play on that and just something catchy, Wiseboy, and then just put my name after it and then, ran with it.
For sure. Well, when did you start going by Jeremy instead of, Jeremiah?
Probably around the same time, just a year before. I started going by Jeremy O, like early 2020, 2019, something like that. So
For sure. What does being, like, wise mean to you? Like, what does that phrase mean to you?
To be honest with you, it's kind of means being a vessel just for, like, stuff around me and just, like, being able to speak in a way that I could translate, that could resonate with, like, you know what I'm saying, people from my hometown and anybody that, like, felt the way that I felt,
for sure.
You know what I'm saying, or feels the way that I feel, you know what I mean? So it's, like, to be wise is to be one. I feel like that's more what it means to me.
Most definitely. Going back to what you said about being a vessel, in one of your previous interviews, you mentioned being a vessel from the soil, which you come from, being Jersey, South Jersey, Willingboro to be exact. And I just wanted you to distinctly, tell the people what makes Jersey sound different from New York sound.
Man, I don't know. I feel like right now Jersey is like, especially the part that I'm from, Jersey kind of does everything. And it's kind of like a melting pot of a bunch of different sounds and like a bunch of different people that are like trying a bunch of different shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just like throwing stuff at the wall until it sticks. And I feel like that was definitely like my approach. And I feel like it's kind of cool to see like everybody like live and grow and like we all just kind of started like trying shit, experimenting, and like this is the place that we're at right now. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like in a sense we're all just kind of vessels like for the place that we come from. And it's just like we're just speaking on like different levels and different like spectrums of experience and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like we're all telling the same story, but we're just like painting it differently, if that makes sense.
How do you, how does your style and how does your storytelling, I should say, like you just described, differ from, your peers from Jersey or in that scene?
I feel like I'm very vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? I feel like
Most
I
definitely
definitely am like, you know what I'm saying, appearing to the lens a little more. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I get a little deeper into like, you know what I'm saying, the feeling more than like the knowing, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, the wise being one more than like having like a heap of knowledge or some shit like that. I just feel like, you know what I mean? I kind of try to just get to the source in all my words, you know?
Most definitely. And you mentioned before in another interview talking about, this, not necessarily an obsession, but this love for nature that you have as well. Always needing like plants around you when you're recording, etc. Talk about that a little bit. Where does that come from?
I just think nature is mad cool, bro. And I feel like you just can't explain that shit. And I feel like music is also something that you can't explain. So it like kind of goes one, you know what I mean?
Most definitely.
And I just think it just feels cool, you know what I'm saying? Just having plants in my room just like adds life to a space, you know?
It's inspiration for sure for your music.
Very much so, you know what I mean?
Your family also was inspiration for your pursuit of music as well, correct? Your mother was a DJ? So
she wanted to be a DJ.
Yeah. So how did that have an impact on your, pursuit of music as well? Also your father rapping himself.
Well, besides like my father rapping and like my mom wanting to be in music, I feel like it was just a bunch of like different types of music going on in my household and everything. Like hip-hop wasn't the most prevalent, but like when it was hip-hop, like my dad was playing like Jay, Nas, Biggie, people like that. My mom was playing like 3 Stacks, Kanye West, 50 Cent, people like that. But my mom was kind of more into like the EDM, you know what I'm saying? That's where like her DJ love came from. And then my pops was like reggae, so I was always listening to a lot of like I-Octane, Buju Banton, Jack Cure, people like that.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
So
it was just a lot of music in general.
Did you listen to your father's music? You know, or you mentioned finding his raps at a young age, about like 8 years old or whatever. When do you remember anything like that? Listening to his old songs, or you approaching him about his music at a young age?
Mainly approaching him. He'd never really. There was nothing recorded that I heard. I don't think there might have been like one or two joints that I can't just
For sure.
I can't remember. But for the most part, it was just the experience of him like bringing me the notebook and showing me like, yo, this is what I used to do as a kid, and like me opening that and kind of like feeling like I was traveling through his life, like when he was my age at the time. So it was like more so bringing me into the lane of expression rather than like rapping, because it was just like these are just words that he just applied from like life and his experience and put those on page, and like that stayed there forever. You know what I'm saying? Like these are words that I'm reading when I'm 8 years old, that's from his adolescence. You know what I'm saying? That was probably like 15 years prior to that. You know what I mean? So I feel like even then it kind of made like the interpretation a little stronger, because I wasn't like hearing what he was saying. I was kind of just reading it, but I still got like the same feeling. You know what I mean?
Did you base any of your earlier work or your earlier writing off of like that's what you read, based off your dad's raps or anything that he told you, people that he played for you at a young age?
I mean, hell yeah, he helped me write my first rap.
Oh, fire!
You know
I was just about to ask that. So
what age was that?
8, 9, I think, something like that.
Most definitely. So tell us about that first song creation. Like, talk us through that a little bit.
He was basically just showing me like the ins and outs of like rhyming and shit, you know what I'm saying, just how to put words together. And like my first couple joints were like in patois, you know what I'm saying, because that was like everything that I was listening to.
Okay.
But over time, just like I think it was probably like it was either Wayne or Drake. It was one of those. It was probably Drake, knowing the time it was. It was my cousins that showed me I'm on one in like 6th grade, I think, and it like changed my fucking life, bro. I was like, this is the craziest shit in the world. And then ever since then, it kind of just like translated to me like gravitating more towards like hip hop shit, you know.
Most definitely.
Yeah, so how was you like in high school? Because obviously it's a formative time for a lot of folks. Was you a wise boy back then? Was you acting like a damn fool? Did niggas know you had it like that in terms of raps, or was it, you more low-key with it?
Nah, I was super introverted in high school, bro. I was always like in my shell, and like people from high school now would like talk to me and be like, congratulate me on everything that's happening, and being like, yo, it's so crazy to see like that small kid that was in his shell like flourish into like what you are right now. You know what I mean? But like relatively, as going back to you saying like me being a wise boy and shit, I feel like I always had like the same views and everything on like life and everything, or I at least tried to like traverse the same paths and everything, and tried to keep that consistent throughout my life. So
most definitely.
So if you could say real quick, where does you talk about sort of the vulnerability, how did that relate to you being a quiet kid and your upbringing and all that?
Because I feel like I could only like communicate that on paper. You know what I'm saying? I could only communicate how I felt like through a song or like through music. You know what I'm saying? Because like, I don't know, I feel like the understanding and like even the judgment factor that came with like trying to open up to a person, or even like in my family, which is a whole different rabbit hole. I feel like that was just 100% alleviated when I just like went straight to the page and like wrote exactly what I was thinking. You know?
So people were more accepting when they heard it, when they heard when the melody was behind it.
What age did you come to that realization that music was this medium for you to freely express yourself or easily express yourself in the way you do?
Probably like 16. I was just like mad depressed and shit, and like music was all I had. So yeah,
most definitely. What did you've always been making music, but at that time, what were the circumstances that really made you turn to music as that form of closure?
It's a lot of family shit going on, a lot of confusion and like what I wanted to do with my life. You know what I'm saying? And like the shop that I took in high school was like super cool and like in the same lane of like media and everything, but it wasn't like directly music. It was like everything but, you know what I'm saying, like cameras and like the ins and outs of like commercials and news broadcasts, a lot of shit that I didn't care about when it came to like TV and stuff like that. But there was a studio in there, and like I wanted to be in the studio every day, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of just thugged it out for that. But through there, just like having all that stuff put in front of me, I was like doing my own research on like what I actually needed to like facilitate me making music on my own, and just kind of took that and then, you know what I'm saying,
That's far. Speaking of going to the studio, do you like more, going to a standard studio or working in a home studio? Because I know you mentioned, liking to have plants and different things around you, talking about going to Arlo's house in 2022, making up a whole bunch of different tracks out there. What's your preference?
Definitely home studios. I feel like it's just more comforting, you know what I'm saying? Like whether it's my crib and like I know where everything is, or like I could just be in my socks or whatever, or it's like a homie's crib where it's just like, you know what I'm saying, it's no regulations, and like not even the fact that like you got to pay for studio time and stuff like that, but it's kind of like you still just feel free because like you're in either your space or like a space of someone that you know what I'm saying? Most
definitely. It's also just more like, calming in a way, because you don't feel like, oh, you have to get this done in this time. Yeah. Like you can just really like just chill and like whatever comes of what happens, what happens.
Mm-hmm.
You've always been a profound lyricist, you know, dropping your first album, or first project I should say, Friday Nights on Fallon Street. In the little text about it, you say that the raps that you rapped on that made you not want to ever rap again because they were so vivid. And you know, so you expressed so much of like what was going on and really expressing what's happening in your life. This truthfulness, where does this come from? Like, why is this so, you know, important to you to have this truthfulness in your music and being vulnerable, as you said before?
I feel like a lot of the truth just comes from the dedication that I have to music, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I put too much into it to lie, for lack of a better term, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like if I'm spending so much time here, I might as well be talking about some shit that's true to me,
For
or
sure.
some shit that's real, you know what I'm saying? And like, just speaking on the dedication, like, that project was dropped in 2018, I think, 2017?
Yeah, 2018.
Yeah, 2018, and like, I remember I had like 2 homies at the time, shout out to Kevin Ray, and like, I had spent like the entire last week just like putting everything into the project because I knew I wanted to drop it on the 1st of June. And what had happened was we went to like the listening party, which was just 3 people, and it just consisted of like them playing 2K and listening to it while I played it for them. And I was literally just like asleep, and like I woke up and they were just like, yo, like we loved it, like it's fire. And I just remember like no one else listened to it, like but them, you know what I'm saying? But it was still just like knowing that this is what I wanted to do and just having more to say and being like, all right, well, that was cool, just like moving on to the next, you know?
That's fire. Humble beginnings. That's dope. That's
Very
dope.
much so.
What's the realest shit you ever wrote, in your opinion? Tough question, I know.
There's a lot of joints on my next project.
Okay.
The intro, that's pretty real.
First little thing off the top of your head. First little 8, top of your head.
8 bars?
Yeah.
Damn. Family on my back, and they can't get along. My father hit my line like I don't care for him. He think I'm taking mama's side like I can't share the love. I just been patient when I write to see it clearer.
Tough.
Yeah, I was
Tough.
for it, but you know what I'm saying?
Most definitely. That shit tough. That shit tough. Most definitely. In an interview before, you mentioned that you love the beats that you choose, like your beat selection. That's one of the main things that you love about, you know, your music creation. And you mainly choose beats that when you hear them make you relax and, you know, just lay out. What's the main thing that, you know, you gravitate towards when someone sends you a beat, or you hear, you know, one of Arlo's beats? What's the main thing that you look for in terms of picking out a beat for a project or in general for yourself?
Something that I feel, and I definitely feel like I can speak over, but I feel like I haven't like spoken over before, especially recently. Just having a whole project that I just did with Curdy, shout out to him, and just like having a lot of other work that I like lock in with one specific producer and like work on. Right now, I'm just trying to like find stuff that I could feel on a different level, like where will this push me, you know what I'm saying? Whereas I had stuff before that like maybe pushed me in this direction, and I fucked with that direction, and I kind of kept traveling there. Now it's like, okay, what's another direction or what's another path that I could go on that's kind of like still in the same like range of what I'm doing, you know what I'm saying?
For
but
sure.
like kind of a different branch, you know?
Most definitely, most definitely. Getting into more of your, you know, your marketing strategies of yourself as an artist. You used to post a whole bunch of videos of you rapping and snippets of your raps and whatnot. Where did that come from? What was the inspiration for that? Where you're just like, I want to get my music out there, show more people about it? Or was there a certain person that you saw doing that as well? What was that inspiration from?
Just realizing that people kind of like to see a face, you know what I'm saying? Like the class that I took in high school, it was big on like graphics and shit like that. So I would have so many graphics that I would make for like my raps and shit, and like it would be cool, and I would think that they were dope, but a lot of people just kind of didn't care, you know what I'm saying? Like people kind of want to see a face and put a face to like whatever you're doing, whether it's music or you're a photographer or a videographer. Like in this day and age, they want to get to know the face and the person behind it, you know what I'm saying?
Most
so
definitely.
Like, I forgot what was the first one that I posted. I think it was like something that I wrote to like a Corday beat or something.
Yeah,
and I just like wanted
adding
to put it
Corday,
out.
yeah.
And then just I saw how it did, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna do more shit where I just rap in front of the camera.
For sure, for sure.
Word. March 18th, 2022, you posted on TikTok when you make music like this, but you work at a car wash. What? And that joint kind of, you know, it glowed up a little bit. It got some clout.
Shout out to TikTok.
You was really working in a car wash back then?
I was.
Okay, word.
Yeah.
You not working at a car wash no more?
I'm not.
Okay,
Nah.
word.
Not at all.
Big up. Yes, sir, yes, sir. Getting
Wait,
back,
real quick. How did you quit?
I just left.
Oh, you just left?
Get out of there.
Okay,
Did you have
so-
like a Tizo Touchdown has a story. He was like, yo, like there's one day I was at my job. He was like working under the manager. He was like, nah, I need to make it in music. I'm gonna just leave. Like, was it that? Like, nah, you just need to make it. Like, or was it
like
just
the
like
young nudie fucking fuck yeah, y'all on some bullshit? Like,
Yeah.
y'all making me clean up and.
Nah, it was. I definitely am not like right now. I definitely feel like I should have had a little more integrity. But I definitely just like woke up one day and was just like, I'm not going back. You know what I'm saying?
fair.
Like,
You do what you want to do though.
Just a feeling.
literally,
Exactly.
You know what I'm
Knew
saying?
it.
So
Going back to one of the earlier topics we were talking about in terms of, people from high school reaching out to you now that you're more prominent and you've been doing this music shit at a higher rate. On one of your tracks, I'm forgetting the name of it now, you have a snippet of someone calling you or leaving a voicemail. Was that a real?
Nah, that was actually scripted.
Okay.
I know what song you're talking about though.
Right. And then the other thing I wanted to ask about was on a lot of your tracks you have an intro where you're like, yo, we're recording, like shut the fuck up. Like, was that when did that come from? When did that come about? Was that like an original like thing that you did like at one time and then you're like, oh, that's hard, like I want to keep that?
Yeah, the first time I did it, I think one of my homies was in the back playing Brawlhalla and being loud as fuck, and I was just like, yeah, I'm about to record, so please be quiet.
Most definitely. I knew there had to be something funny behind that. Your last project was, help me pronounce this. I've been trying to find like the Azure. Okay, Azure, and that was dropped in April of 2023. The main thing I want to ask you about, why isn't it on all streaming plats? Like, we only got Grace on all streaming plats, and then it's on SoundCloud and Bandcamp. Well, was there a reasoning behind that you wanted to, release it in that way?
They were all demos mainly. So I had lost my hard drive when I was in Texas at the time, so this was March. I got off the flight and we had drove a couple hours to Texas, and then I plugged my hard drive in and it actually wasn't working, and then I tried to troubleshoot it at home and kind of just realized that all my shit was gone.
Damn.
And the crazy part is, like, I've been through this before with the same like brand of
hard drive.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna like air them or nothing like that. But I am not shopping with them no more.
Damn.
But yeah, I kind of just realized that there was just a lot of good shit that I lost, and I wanted to drop Grace. And there was something that I did last year before Still Children, where I kind of just dropped a tape on SoundCloud of like Lucy's and demos that kind of like made sense to Still Children because I like made them in the process of it, and I kind of just put that out SoundCloud, Bandcamp, YouTube, and the reaction was kind of cool. So I was just like, all right, I'll do this again, kind of as a precursor to Pumpkin Seeds, because at this time Pumpkin Seeds was supposed to come out a little sooner, so it was supposed to be a little more spaced with Azure and everything. But
most definitely.
Yeah.
You've worked with a number of artists over this past year, though, despite dropping that in April, and since then you've worked with a whole bunch of different artists. You worked with Sko on his most recent project, United Palace. The song, the super fire song, Go Be Burning, one of my favorite songs on the entire project for sure. How did that song come about? You creating that song with him?
I think he just had the beat and he was just like, yo, we gotta run some shit. And like me and Sko got a lot of joints, you know what I'm saying? So I think that was just one of the times, and we had wrote it in upstate New York, or at least I wrote my verse. We had did this one show at Smog Bard College. Shout out to them. It was super, super cool. And
I was gonna go there.
What, one more time?
I was gonna go there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, before I applied here.
Dylan Lure.
No, I was gonna go there for.
Yeah,
but anyways, yeah.
It was a crazy show. But yeah, after that we ended up going to a hotel room, and I think I just had the beat looped. I was playing it, and then I didn't end up recording it until I had another show in New York in May, and I think I went to Arlo's spot before then, and we just like laid it then, and then got it done.
Most definitely. One of your, seems to be favorite collaborators that you've been working with over the course of this year has been Phoenix James on your most recent track, Do I Not? So how did that come about? How did that track, super dope track, by the way, super dope single, out now on all streaming platforms?
Yes, it is.
And just tell us about that song creation. That you guys, were you guys in the studio together with that track? Did you lay a verse down first? Or how did that come about?
Well, that was super, super early on. Like even in me and Curdy's like collaborations and everything. And he had sent me a pack like early July, and I think Do I Not was like the third, fourth joint that we did. And yeah, I knew it was really cool, but it kind of was missing something. I had the two verses, I had the hook, and it was no space at the end, but I kind of like needed something to like finish what I was saying, you know what I'm saying? And I wanted somebody else to do it. And then I found Phoenix a little prior, and I think we had did the Unusual joint, and before that we had like texted like, yo, we got to get one in, and then we did Unusual, and that came back, and then I think I was like, yo, I got
super dope song, by the way, as well.
Yeah,
super dope song.
Thank you. Shout out to Zaire.
Yeah.
And I think I just sent her Do I Not, and then like 2 weeks later she had sent it back, and like I promise you, I probably played her shit back like 20 times.
Super
like,
fire.
It was crazy.
So far.
And then yeah, it was one of my favorite joints on the project. I didn't know it was gonna be the first single back then, because this is like October of last year, but then it kind of just made sense like as time passed. So.
Most definitely. The main thing I wanted to unfold, though, especially in this interview, is the damn video directed by you, shot by Red Braggs over here.
Shout out to Red Braggs.
Shout out to Red Braggs. Fucking fire video, amazing video. Also directed by Maddie, I believe, right? Or with Maddie Sitter? Is it?
That is also Red Braggs.
Oh, it's oh shoot, it's all
these names.
All these names. What do you have? Why do you have multiple accounts?
creative account and my actual account. But that's really just the same thing about like coming about with like, you know,
different.
Taking something as cool and like putting it here.
Most definitely, most definitely, most definitely. Fire, fire. Video, amazing. 10 out of 10 video. Tell us about the inspiration for the video, everything about it.
So the inspiration behind the video was literally kind of like what was going on last summer, and I feel like this is why it made so much sense to like make it the first single, because last summer I was spending a lot of time in New York, a lot of time at Arlo's spot, a lot of time away from home, just trying to find like my stride in this music shit, and I feel like I didn't find anywhere close to it until I came back home and understood that like everything that I need has always been around me. I just really gotta tap into it. You know what I'm saying? So the story of the video was kind of like me going to New York, me traveling, and me going through these trials and tribulations with the one talent in the video who represented New York and the second talent who represented New Jersey. And then me kind of going through trials and tribulations with them, and then ultimately just coming back home. And at the end of the video, I kind of just sit behind myself, because it's kind of like I'm just one with the entire situation. And I realized that the me that I was looking for was always at home. I kind of just had to go back and like search for that. And the video was me searching for that me and finding him and just like sitting behind him at the laundromat. And what happened after that is up to the viewer, because that's when the video ends. So
that's fire. Can you clap up for that real quick?
Thank you.
That shit too fire. That shit too fire.
Thank you.
Where did that idea like come? Like, were you just sitting, sitting in bed one day, like, yo, I got a fire idea for a video, and start jotting down notes? Did you see something that made you think of all those different ideas and putting them all together? What was that inspiration?
I just be living what I rap.
For sure.
So it's like, you know what I'm saying? The video just kind of was second nature, because I wanted all the videos to like be extensions of like what the songs were. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, super organic. Most definitely. Most definitely.
Yeah. So.
All right, so that time of the year, you look on your story, see all these motherfuckers posting their replays, trying, you know what I'm saying, show out a little bit. So I'm going to need y'all pull out your phones and show us what it do. Show us what's the inspiration going. Yeah, what's the Spotify rap? What's the
rap?
Apple Music?
What's up with the rap?
2023.
Oh, sure, I got you. Okay.
Yeah, and for you too, Dre.
Yeah, you too, Dre. What's up?
Word.
We gonna need to see the rewind though.
We'll just keep it.
All right, wait.
We'll press Jeremy for now. We'll leave you safe if you want.
So what I could do for y'all is I could go through like the entire Wrapped experience and just like narrate it, because like they take you through like a whole.
That's fine. That's even better.
Okay,
let's
cool,
do it real
cool.
quick. Let's do it.
Hold on. Okay. Yo, y'all got Wi-Fi in here?
Oh shit, we have the worst Wi-Fi in here. Damn, we have to say that for later. Damn, if it takes too long, I'm not gonna lie, we do have the worst Wi-Fi in this back room. Like,
Okay, word.
we're currently located in the back of Columbia's radio station,
Wait, hold up.
WKCR.
I might be able to hit you with the hotspot. though.
Okay, word. I'm at 35%
This is
on
what
the
we
rap
love
right
over
now.
here at Notes from Underground. We're sharing hotspots, sharing love, sharing artists, sharing music. This is the best
This joint
shit of
better
all
work,
time.
bro.
You feel me?
I was proud of this question. Like, ain't no way.
No, he sent me this question. I was like, nah, this is the greatest question. Like, we're gonna get some fire content. Like, see what these niggas really listening to.
So look for it. It should hopefully.
Wait. It's my Spotify Wrapped or my artist Wrapped?
Whatever you can pull up.
Yeah, Spotify. What you been listening to?
Okay, fire.
But if it's all Wiseboy Jeremy, that's dope too.
Oh, dude.
Word. Okay.
Why do you look so depressed about it?
I definitely pulled up.
I know you. I know
got
you would have your
Lana Del Rey.
screenshot
I
it
was
too.
not annoyed about the top songs and the top artists. Cause my shit, listen, I listen to other genres. I don't listen to only.
We need to hear it.
This isn't the only genre. But,
I can get a hotspot the password
all
too.
right. Top artists. Damn.
All right, this is
It's
Dre.
not
This
that
is
bad.
Industrial Dre's top artist, and then we're gonna move to Wiseboy Jeremy's. Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
All right.
What you got? What's number one?
The Alchemist is number one.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's
which is-
that's fire.
It's kind of embarrassing.
How?
I don't know.
Alchemist is my 3 though.
Yeah, the Alchemist was my like
Jay-Z is number 2.
fire.
Earl Sweatshirt's number 3.
Fire.
Matt Comey's number 4.
Diff.
Kendrick Lamar's number 5.
Can't be mad at it.
That's a
I
calm.
cannot
That's
be
calm, right?
It's calm, very calm.
Okay. Now we go to top songs. Wait, we're not doing top songs though. Right?
Whatever. You already started.
You already
can't go
started it,
back.
bro. You can't go back. You
Top
fucked up.
one, number 1 is a beat by my friend that he put on Spotify that I was writing to. It's called Suplex by Lord K9. Shout out Lord K9.
Fire.
Fire.
Number 2, Laps Around the Sun by Jim Jones. Number 3,
Jim Jones, that's fire.
Number 3, 5 to 50, featuring India by Benny the Butcher. Number 4, New Things by Freddie Gibbs and Currency. And number 5 is Criminal by Matt Comey.
It's tough.
Fire.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's tough.
Nah,
not
it was
at all.
bad because. Sorry, this is not mine.
Super regular.
But
Yeah.
It's fine. Like, why are you so mad?
Because like I wanted to show my friends from like that I grew up with that all went to college, like really think that I have like the most ununique music taste ever, and they're like, you only listen to this type of rap, and I'm like, no, I don't. I listen to mad genres of music.
Yeah,
let me put you onto this soul, let me put you onto this jazz, blah
Right.
blah 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 blah, and then my Spotify Raps comes out, and it's just exactly the type of people that they all say I only listen to. So it was like, damn, I didn't get to display.
Yeah, I feel it.
All right.
I'm waiting for the hotspot.
I know, but it's not accepting. I updated my password.
You want to sign into my Spotify?
This is also the beauty of doing this
I
pre-recorded.
think I took a
Because-
screenshot of
you know what I mean?
just
We can edit this
the
whole
top
joint.
artist and not like the top songs and stuff.
In my jacket. It's already like logged on.
Technical
Anybody, I
difficulties.
know one of y'all got a hotspot.
Maybe it's not that bad.
Yeah, you might just-
Yours is fine. Like,
you might just-
I'm gonna read mine.
It's
Hold
just
on.
like exactly what you would have expected, which is just like, I don't want to
I'm
be
number three.
predictable.
All right.
Password ASD.
Wait, which one? Your
Jaw?
Oh, your jaw. Okay, that's dope. Yeah.
An easy step.
Like Jaws Opera.
What?
I named my phone
Like
back,
needle
in
and
the
flesh,
Terrible.
So random.
uneasy steps.
See if I'm missing something.
All right, let's see.
Deepening like needle and flesh. It's Earl, bro. You don't know what that is.
Your top song was Not a Drill by V's. You
Fire.
played it 20 times this year, starting on June 28th. My top artist was Mike. My peak listening month was June. Yeah, I don't see any more screenshots of like anything else. But I know Earl was on there. I know Al was on there. That's all that I can remember off the top of my head. My top songs were like a lot of jazz shit that I can't really pronounce. So
Fire.
yeah, shout out to
Fire.
like Cassiopeia and Soil in the Beams and people like that.
Super dope. Great question, Caleb. Great question, Caleb.
Yeah, shout out to Kaleb for that amazing question.
Amazing question. Amazing fucking question. Next up, pumpkin seeds in my roots.
Mhm.
What does that quote mean to you?
That quote means a lot, and it will be furthered on when the album comes out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So this upcoming project, Pumpkin Seeds, can you tell us a little bit about it at all? I know you mentioned, with your music, you try to make most of your, projects more experiences than playlists.
Mhm.
So what type of experience can we, expect out of this next project?
Well, Still Children was kind of me kicking in the door of whatever room that I wanted to be in at the time and letting everybody in that room know that I could rap.
Most definitely.
And Pumpkin Seeds is kind of me slowing it down and being like, this is kind of my life over the last 1 year, and there's a lot of like very,
R&B vibes
very.
more or no?
One more time.
R&B vibe or like more like slower tracks, like some soulful tracks, like more like the songs that we heard with Phoenix James more. Or is it what is
Actually, I
what's different shit?
one thing I can say is that the 3 singles that you guys are gonna hear, one of them being "Do I Not," really are not representative of like what the album sounds like. You know what I'm
interesting.
saying? So I feel like they're very great outliers, and they definitely like emphasize certain feelings and moods that are like revisited on the album.
Okay.
But sonically, it doesn't really like. It's not really an umbrella for like the whole project. You know?
And this project is solely produced by Curdy, correct?
Yes, sir.
What was the inspiration for having him just solely producing this track? You were like, no, I really want you just making all these beats for this project. You really you want to lock in with him on this. What was the conversation?
So it's actually mad interesting, and it actually started like with zero conversation. So I did a show in July of last year. It was called Brooklyn Zoo. Dre also did the show. Lord Sco did the show.
Shout out ODB.
Yeah. There was a lot of other crazy artists. Shout out to Marco Plus. I'm losing it.
Oh, Marco Plus.
Swank with the
Marco
dank.
Plus was there.
Yeah, he
That's
was.
tough.
The
Tough.
Gnarly Boys. Javi Darko. Yeah, it was a lot of dope rappers. And
Fire.
so I'd end up doing the show. I went home. I got back to Jersey that night at like 3 a.m. And I had opened a DM from the homie Ja. Well, he's my homie now. At the time, he was, you know what I'm saying? Nah, it was not him.
No.
Yeah. So he was just like, yo, just saw the show, like, you're crazy. I want to send you a couple joints. He sent me 2 songs, both of which Curdy had co-produced. And I think one of the joints I sent back to him the next morning, and he was like, yo, this is crazy. He was like, yo, I got a pack from Curdy that I want to send through. So he sends the Curdy pack through, and I had already known who Curdy was because of stuff that he had with my homie Wakai. and it was crazy. You know what I'm saying? So
Most definitely.
when Josh said he
Shout out
had
to Curdy.
word, and so when Josh said he had the pack, I was like, all right, bet. So I go through the pack, I think it was like 12, 13 beats, something like that. And then I was just thumbing through them, and then this one beat was like crazy, like one of the craziest beats that I heard. Wrote to it, sent it back to Curry the same day. That joint was Live to See that we dropped last year. And then we made like 1 or 2 more joints, and then in the third one, we made Do I Not. Or the fourth one, I think, it was Do I Not. And then at the time, I just had Still Children 2 months prior. So I was like, yo, like, finna drop an EP, like these are crazy. And he was just like, yo, like, let's hold it, let's make an album. And then around August, September of that year, that's when like we kind of started to step away from like a lot of the sound that we were doing before, which was very scattered, and it was just like very hard Curdy beats and like very, very intense raps from me, like a lot of Live to See shit. And then we kind of just started slowing it down and like really making everything like a puzzle piece to a bigger picture, you know what I mean? So, and it was a lot like around that time, like that was when I first quit my job and everything, and that's when I really started to like start communicating with a lot of people that are like higher up in the places that I want to be. So it was like my perspective was shifting on a lot of different spectrums, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So like the music was kind of just a reflection of all that, you know?
Super dope, super dope. We're
Thank
super excited for that project coming soon. When can we expect that?
Quarter 1 of next year. I don't have an exact date locked in
course.
yet, but like March, April, around that time.
What about the next singles?
Next single comes out in January.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Super dope. Super dope. Getting into, you know, this little tour that you've been on in terms of performances and whatnot. You had a performance at Baby's All Right earlier last month on the 9th of November. And you have a performance coming up, I believe, at the Grotto on December 15th.
I do.
So, you know, tell us about, you know, what's your favorite part about performing, man?
Man, it's just expression and just like sharing the shit that I do in my room, in my socks, that I like go crazy over, you know what I'm saying, and I geek out about so much, and just sharing that with like other people and like everybody in the room like becoming one with like what's going on, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, I think that performing is going to be one of my favorite things about music for a long, long time, and I'm super okay with that. And it took me a while to like get over that hill, because like I fell in love with like writing and recording, you know what I'm saying, and expressing so much. So like for me to start doing a lot of shows at the beginning of 2022 and then instantly be like, yo, this is my favorite part about music, I was kind of confused, because I was like, damn, like I've spent so many years doing this and perfecting this and like finding these grooves of these aspects of my process that I love so much. So like for this one thing to like just oversee all of that was kind of like, it didn't really sit right with me at first, but then kind of just like understanding that me performing is kind of like an amalgamation of like everything, the writing, the recording, the expressing, it's all kind of like that in one, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like I'm a great live performer too, so I like love to do it.
Most definitely. So do you have any advice for any upcoming artists, especially in coming out of South Jersey?
For artists coming out of South Jersey, just please understand that there's no fence in front of you, and the fence that you think is in front of you, it's not there. So just jump over it, or step over it, or climb over it, or run through it. However you could get past the fence, just get past it, because it's not there. And I feel like a lot of like, especially social media nowadays, it's just like in certain places, there's just like this wall of like doubt that stands in front of a lot of artists. If you're not from a New York or Atlanta or LA or wherever, and Jersey especially is a place that I grew, and I know that there's so much talent and potential here, but there's a lot of people that just kind of like fall into the abyss, because it's like, feel like they can't do anything unless they like navigate to these hot spots around the country, you know what I'm saying? Or they like, I don't know, become something that's so like beyond them in terms of creation. It's just like, I don't know. I just feel like everybody should live their truth and just understand that like there's a way for everybody and there's room for everybody also. So just keep that in mind when you're chasing.
Wise words from Wiseboy Jeremy.
Thank you.
Most definitely some wise words, and that's a great way to end it here from Notes Underground. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much for coming through a second time, making an appearance. I really do appreciate it. We about to get into this fucking freestyle though. Here on Notes Underground 89.9 FM. Thank you. Appreciate it. That's it. I'm gonna cut it right now. Everyone clap it up, clap it up, clap it up, clap it up, clap it up.